Heather, the girl that watched him.
And it was for her. She does drugs and other stuff.
A child was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries, leaving family and authorities scrambling for answers. Who was responsible and how did it happen? The investigation is still unfolding and every detail counts.
See what the hell's going on. I told her to call 911. When we got him over to the hospital, he has a bruise on his collarbone, and the doctor says somebody has grabbed him and shook him and broke his damn collarbone. Yep. And then he's having seizures, or he's had a couple of seizures, so they did a scan of his brain, and he don't think there's nothing wrong with his brain. And they're fixing to try to get him transported to Shands, and he said he couldn't go there, then they gotta go to Jacksonville. So I'm just waiting right now. When I find out more, I'll let you know.
On January the 15th, 2024, Suwannee County officers responded to an emergency call involving 10-month-old Levi Harris. His babysitter, Heather, reported he was unresponsive. His father, Clifton Harris, quickly drove from Lake City to assist. At the hospital, staff observed bruises on the baby's collarbone and scratches on his face, suggesting possible abuse. Paramedics immediately began assessments and prepared for potential transport to Shands in Gainesville.
7563.
US 90 East, to be correct. 90 East. That's it, yeah. They got a, what, does the guy have a beard? The husband?
No, he doesn't have a beard right now.
He got tattoos on all his fingers and all that.
Russian mobster.
Is he irritable like this when you see him? No, he was heathen.
I just want to
You
see
know,
Officers highlighted Heather's history. She had been visited multiple times by law enforcement for drug-related issues. On this call, she appeared agitated and loud. The officers expressed doubt regarding her account that the child had fallen from a couch, suspecting more severe causes for Levi's injuries.
hey, buddy. No, he's not like that. I mean,
Does he have any developmental?
he hasn't had anything, man.
So, Chip, how many times y'all go out there? How many times y'all go out there?
I've been there now 3 times. First time for this child and twice for her.
What's the time frame? 6 months, 3 weeks?
Let me see if I can find it tomorrow.
Probably about a year and a half.
EMS reported multiple fresh bruises on the child's upper torso and scratches on the face. The injuries were concerning due to their location and severity, and paramedics noted they were sketchy, indicating a strong possibility of physical abuse rather than accidental injury.
She'll be here in a few minutes. You'll have to ask her.
You let me get right.
Okay. No, that's not normal for him at all, acting like that.
The father noted a scratch on Levi's face that he hadn't seen before. He explained his usual routine: feeding, nap times, and clothing. He expressed concern for how quickly the injuries occurred and stated he would fully cooperate with any investigation by DCF or law enforcement.
I know it's the first house past that gas station.
Officers went to Heather's residence for follow-up. They verified her identity and living situation, noting other adults in the home. Their goal was to collect accurate information regarding the child's care, frequency of babysitter visits, and any other potential witnesses to the incident.
You're not implicated in nothing. They just asked me where has he stayed. So, you know, what the hell are you talking about? I don't know where the hell he's going to be at. He stays with me. No, there's not this one or that one keeping him. There's 3 people that keeps him. You, Heather, and Shannon. That's it. That's all.
At the hospital, medical staff explained that Levi had suffered seizures. They scanned his brain and found no internal damage. Officers and the father waited for decisions on transportation to a specialized care in Jacksonville or Gainesville. The father stressed that Levi's usual caregivers had no knowledge of the injury timeline, which may have occurred 2 to 4 days prior.
That's the only people that keeps him in me. That's the only people that keeps him at all. So, you know. You know, I can't help what somebody else does. You know what? I'm doing the best that I can fucking do. All right? That's what I'm doing. And I would not never turn him somewhere.
I have a date of birth somewhere here.
Deeple is the last name for Heather?
No, Hogan.
Clifton emphasized that he was fully committed to Levi's care. He outlined who had watched the child in recent days: Heather, Shannon, and himself. He stated that he would answer all questions for investigators and that the priority was determining how and when the injuries occurred.
Yes. What about Saturday through Sunday?
Yes.
You see him just in the evenings?
When I get done, I go over there and I see him. If it ain't but for 30 minutes, I go over there. It ain't like that I have left.
When was the last time he stayed the night with you?
That would have been when I told you on that Sunday.
Last Sunday?
No, it wasn't last
Week
Sunday.
before that?
Yeah, I think that's when it was.
And you didn't notice anything?
The father explains his limited time with his son, usually only evenings. The last overnight visit was 2 Sundays ago. He insists he never noticed any injuries.
If they come back and they're able to tell when the injury occurred, they're not going to say that it was in that 2-week time frame. Like, they're not going to say it was before the 2 weeks.
I haven't seen that. I'm telling you.
When's the
I will
last
take, I
time
will
you have
take
seen him
a
unclothed?
lie detector test right now.
Hang on a second. We don't have that availability. When is the last time you seen him without any clothes on to change his diaper, to give him a bath or anything?
That's probably about 2 weeks ago.
He recounts routine moments like changing diapers and giving baths. He explains that the child had no visible injuries during these visits and denies any recent concerns.
I didn't set up at the flea market. I just went out there and looked around, and then I went and got him. We went to Mr. B's and eat and everything else. And
got
I
stuff to
believe
do. I'm going to take you to another area of the hospital because I got to use this area.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
that's
Come on, man. That way.
no. I want. No, I want.
I'll just make sure you're aware of that. You don't have to.
I want policies. I appreciate it. I want somebody to get her ass.
People, man.
The conversation shifts as the interviewers explain the investigation. The father confirms awareness of his rights in the situation, staying calm but concerned.
Not charged with a crime.
No.
But let me read them to you so you make sure you understand. This is a technicality, all right? So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to an attorney, have him present while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford a hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any question. If you wish to decide at any time to exercise these rights and stop answering any questions. Do you understand these rights as I've explained
Yes,
it?
I do.
Okay.
I want to know why that she get her down here and you guys ask her what in the hell is going on.
All right, this is Heather you're asking, right?
Yes.
All right, all right. What is Heather's name? Just Heather?
Sir,
All right.
I
Do you
cannot
pay
think of
her?
her last. No, she's married to Goliath. He's the one that drives that big old Superman
Has
truck.
a blonde beard?
Yeah, he
Okay.
drives that Superman truck.
He talks about Heather, the babysitter, and her husband Bluebeard, who watch the child for free while he provides diapers, wipes, and formula. He notes minor concerns about missing supplies, but never suspected abuse.
Some of this just, I mean, it wasn't like a real concern or nothing, but it just makes you kind of wonder, So when I started opening the wipes up before I would take them, then she, sometimes she would say that, sometimes she wouldn't. So that just could be something in my mind.
Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with anything.
I don't know neither, but
So
I'm
her
just.
kid to steal your diapers?
But you
I
supplied
can't-
her with the necessary things.
Yes,
you
sir.
believe.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But did you ever at any time see her like be angry or mad or come to you and say, look, he's a handful. I don't know, how we're gonna
If
do
she
this.
did, he wouldn't have been there.
Have you ever seen her discipline? Does she discipline?
No, nobody discipline. You don't discipline a baby.
So
I'm
you've
absolutely
never
disciplined.
disciplined
No.
Well, some
He's
people
a
do.
baby.
Well, sir, we're just trying to see what happened. So we're not saying.
I want to know what happened too.
So, but never any time this has become a real pain, a burden. Everything was good.
She's got my phone number, and I told her I don't give a shit what time of day it is, or if I'm working, just like I was working a while ago. Of course, I said, call me. I said, if you got to go somewhere or do something, call me, and I'll come.
He describes Heather's care, stating he has never seen her angry or disciplining the baby. He reassures investigators that if he had suspected anything, the child would not have been there.
She called me a while ago and says, well, she changed her story. Y'all heard it. She originally told me that he was in the crib, and when she went in there, he was unresponsive, which I brought his playpen bed thing. Okay. Then she said that he was in the living room. I believe y'all heard her. I think that's what she said. And that then she went and laid him down, and he was unresponsive. But as soon as she called me, I told her, I said, why the hell didn't you call 911 first, then call me?
So you saying you went to the house first? Because you're saying like we talked to her. We haven't spoke to her yet.
Okay. Well, I was on the phone. I didn't know if you heard me. I was working in the shop where I live at. I was working on a four-wheeler. She called me and said, Levi's unresponsive. I said, well, call 911. And I dropped every damn thing, and I hauled ass over there. And when I got there, they had just got him in the ambulance. But his damn call.
He explains the day the child became unresponsive. Heather called him first, but he told her to call 911. When he arrived, emergency responders were already on site. He expresses disbelief over the child's injuries and says, if his collarbones are broken, I want her put in jail.
What we're trying to figure out is that's what she's. What this?
Believe
How long has he been with Heather over a period of time? Like how long has he been with Heather and nobody else?
Probably for last time he was at Shannon's house. That's
All right.
I would say I don't know. Shannon just called me, so it's probably been he's been over there for at least a couple of weeks, I would think. Because he was at Shannon's, and then I took him over there after I had oh God, I can't even think. Jesus help me. I carried him over there because Shannon, we did Christmas over there. We was going to cook on the grill, but Lance, he didn't get it ready or something. So they watched him, and then I brought him back, and then I carried him over there, and I didn't think nothing about it because I'm over there every day. And when I had him last night, I had him in my arms, and I was holding him, and he went to sleep.
He was never cried, no.
Fussy.
He was fussy, but I gave him a bottle, and then when I turned him over and I laid him like that, he sat there and looked at me for a long time, and
Acting fine.
he acted fine. Let me tell you something, man. If I'd have known anything was going on with him, he would not be there.
The father outlines the child's care timeline, mentioning other relatives who occasionally watched the baby while his wife was in jail.
Well, ever since Selena went to jail.
Okay, when was that?
I believe it was, she's been in there about maybe going on 2 months.
Okay.
But she ain't watched him all the time.
So off and on for 2 months.
Yes.
Not totally like.
No, but
Right.
and Shannon,
So-
Lance, Judy and Judy's son Lance and Shannon, they've watched him the ones that they oh God.
All right.
And his Aunt Paula, not my Aunt Paula,
Yeah.
my wife's daddy's sister, which that's her Aunt Paula, she's watched
All right. So what is Selena? Spell her first name.
Selena.
What's her last name?
Jenkins.
Where is it?
Jen.
What's her date of birth? You know it?
Yeah, October 15th, 84.
Okay. And now, were y'all married or y'all
Yeah,
just?
we're married.
Okay.
Yeah, we're married.
Is your last name's Harris?
She just never changed.
Okay.
hers, though.
Okay. But so she went to jail.
Right.
So these different people have watched her. But last night, you're saying you were holding your son, gave him a bottle. He laid there, looked at you, he wasn't crying, like moving his arm, or because that would collarbone. I've had some.
As God is.
Huh? We'll save it.
As God is.
No, thank you.
As God is my witness
Okay.
on my life or whatever. I know you deal with people that lie, but I don't lie. I don't have a criminal record. Nothing.
Okay.
Okay? On my life. If I'd have known.
Okay. You have to understand what.
I understand.
That we
and
have-
I'm behind y'all 100%. But I'm telling you, last night when I picked him up,
What time
she
did you pick
had
him up? You figure.
I didn't pick him up. I mean,
Wow.
What time were you over there?
it was
visiting?
dark. Because
5:30.
Dark?
5:30.
well, the reason I know is because about what time, I can tell you about what time. You know where the prison is and all that there activity that was going on last night with them cops down there?
We're
Some of y'all down there in the
We're
FHP.
We were off.
I come by and they were there, so that would date the time
Okay.
that I was there.
But once you were visiting and holding your son, he didn't appear to be in pain, didn't feel
He was-
sick.
He confirms that since his wife's incarceration, the child's care has been shared among various trusted relatives. He stresses that the child was never fussy or injured while in his arms, and he has always monitored him closely.
Go over there, she'll say, well, you know, he's sleeping because he's teething. And I'll go in there and physically put eyes on him and look at him and, you know, maybe rub him or something.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to wake him up. Last night, he was sleeping or whatever, and I had him. I'm telling you, I picked him up, and I had him like this, and he
Yes,
went
sir.
to sleep probably 45 minutes. He woke up, and then he was irritable, and she said that, you know, maybe he needed some Motrin, and that he was teething. So I said, okay, and I took, and she got him, and she laid him back down in
Yes, sir.
bed. And I went home. I got up this morning. I had to go to Gainesville because I told him my mom's got Alzheimer's. She's in the hospital. I went over there. I came back. I started working, and I had called her, and I always call her, text her, saying, you know, is Levi okay? Does he need anything or whatever he needs?
So you supply all his
Yes,
needs.
sir. Yes, sir. I got banks of stuff at the house, formula, diapers, food, wipes, everything. Yes, sir. He's got everything.
What is your address that y'all live at?
That's 320 Southwest Leonard Lane.
And
It's over in Columbia.
Yeah, it's on Barwick Road.
okay, so she's
Off
in
Paramount.
Columbia.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you are managing your life. That lady's helping you out, the family, however y'all are working
Right.
it, and you haven't seen any abuse. You haven't suspected any abuse.
If I did, he wouldn't be there.
Okay.
I'm telling you God's honest truth. If I even thought,
Yes, sir.
that's my son.
Now,
I mean,
what was your wife incarcerated for?
probation violation.
What was she on probation for originally?
Drugs,
Okay.
be honest with you.
So, but the kid's fine. He was born with no sicknesses.
No, nothing. He was born right over in Shands, and he went to the doctor every time he's supposed to. I have the health
Yeah,
certificate
I believe
in the
you.
car.
Okay, so you followed
Yes,
up.
sir.
You've been
Yes,
a good
sir.
father.
Absolutely.
And so, like you say, this is totally new to you. I mean, like you know, I'm not saying you would have ignored it. So you would have ignored all this. I'm just saying, but this is all new to you.
It's new to me. It's just about enough
Good.
it's new to you.
Okay? I mean, I really don't. we'll just have to keep following up with the stuff.
If I'd have known that anything was going on with him, okay, if I'd have known, he would not be there.
Okay.
I can tell you that.
Do you think, get with Noah? See if he
But
knows.
I want you guys.
All right.
I'll give you.
Like say, no, I'm not. We're not trying to hard time you and ask you a million questions.
I know that. I'm talking about. I want somebody to get her. And
Well, here's like this is
give
why
an
we.
answer for herself.
Well, this is like why we say we do this to figure out what's going on.
Right.
And like say, we were on another call. They told us to come up to the hospital, so we didn't get a chance. EMS went out there.
Right.
No, somebody was saying she had a seizure. The baby
That's what they said.
that she told them.
Sir, I ain't gonna say. Somebody said it. My head's like, somebody said it. I don't know. I believe the doctor said, no, it was the guy, the paramedic. The paramedic said when I got in the ambulance that he was having a seizure. That's what he told me that, the paramedic.
Okay. But was it having a seizure there?
I don't know about the house. She didn't say nothing about that. Only thing she told me was that I had her on speakerphone for a reason, and these guys are standing here. I don't know if they were listening. She had originally told me on the phone that she laid him down for a nap. She went in there and he was unresponsive. Then she said that she was in there feeding him, and she gave him 2 bottles. I believe that's what she said, and which he just gulped down a bottle. So obviously something's up.
Hey, let me ask you a question, okay? When I asked you earlier about has she ever called you and said your baby needs to go to the hospital, you're saying she's never done that, right?
No, sir.
Okay, so she didn't call you 3 to 4 days ago.
Oh, she did today.
No. Did she call you 3 to 4 days ago claiming that your baby was having active seizures and that you needed to take him to the hospital? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, so if I pull phone records from her phone, there would not be a phone call where she's making these claims saying that your baby's having seizures and
No, there might be a phone call where she called me or I called her, but she ain't told me nothing about him having no seizure.
Okay. Again, I'm telling you, if I pull the record,
Pull
the
'em.
actual phone
Pull
call, they
Pull 'em.
were
Yeah.
not going to say,
Pull 'em.
hey, your
Pull
baby's
'em.
having 3 to
Pull
4
'em.
days.
Pull 'em.
Well, we can't pull them right now, man.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Because your story's kind of all over the place. Her story is, you bounce this baby back and forth between homes and homes and homes and families.
It ain't
and
like
that
that,
each
man.
time he comes back, there's
You
more
have to
bruises
understand.
and more marks
All right.
and more burn marks.
He's not accusing you, but
I'm
this
just
is the
saying
story
this is
he's
what
getting.
She's saying.
Okay. She can say whatever she wants to say, okay?
Okay.
She can say whatever she wants to say.
Right.
The facts are this. The facts are that she was the one that I entrusted him to. She is responsible for taking care of him.
So again, not accusing you, I'm just letting you know. So when we try to get a hold of these other babysitters that you've allowed
can
your
call
kid
them.
to stay with,
Okay.
they're gonna say that he's never came back with bruises
You
or
wanna
anything
call
like
him? I'll give you her number right
Get
now.
Shannon's number.
And where does Shannon live?
Her and Lance live over for Deacle Road.
In Taylor County?
No.
Oh, dude.
No, don't call them.
No.
What's
No.
their address?
I don't know, but I got her phone number.
Get the
What's
phone.
Yeah, get the phone number.
And I can guarantee you that Shannon, she'll tell you if there was something up and she saw something, she'll tell you. And also, Paula's phone number is Ann.
And Paula's an aunt.
It's Selena's Ann,
Who's Selena?
my wife. That's her phone number.
Where
He's
does she live?
just not telling the whole truth. No, he's probably not totally, but he's not telling the truth. I want him to call her before he is
Turn
accused.
left on 240.
Oh, yeah.
242. and go up, and it's across from that church of the housing project there.
What's your last name?
Sir?
Mine?
about a piece?
Harris,
Oh,
H-A.
No, what's the wife's name?
Oh, Jenkins.
What's her first name?
So it's over here.
S-E-L.
Here, just give
S-E-L-E-N-A.
It's recorded.
And then what's her last name? Harris?
Yeah.
What's her date of birth?
October
I got all
15th,
that.
84. Did you see, man?
October 5th, what?
84.
84.
I got it.
My damn phone is loaded with nothing but pictures of me and him. Me and him, me and him, me and him.
Like
I understand, but see, sir, all right.
And this is him over at her house.
And this is that the one, is that her? The babysitter?
No, that's her daughter. This is him over at her house.
He's walking and everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. She
Okay.
texts me these pictures all the time.
All right. Now,
And that's him with Shannon. Shannon had him. That's when they took him
who's that there?
the Grinch. That's
No.
Shannon's daughter.
Okay, did you, yeah.
And then there he is with the Grinch. There he is. Me and
No,
Selena
all
had him
right,
in the.
stop, go, all right. No, go back. That's just hair?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
his-
you
you know that cocoa. He got a
Yeah, sir.
cocoa melon going on.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know why his hair grows like
Yeah,
that,
that was a baby.
but
Okay.
that's me and him
Where's that at?
over at a friend of mine's house.
Okay.
My phone is full of pictures. I love that kid.
So
That's
we're
him.
not debating that.
That's him.
We're just trying
There's he's at the doctor
where's that at?
in Gainesville. That was his. I believe that was his last doctor's appointment that he was
Okay.
at. Right there's his doctor.
All right.
That's Selena holding him. We put a net on his head.
Well, why'd they do that?
That's her feeding him.
Selena?
Yeah, Selena. That's him over at a friend of mine's.
Okay.
And I think that's. I don't think there's.
No.
There's him feeding him. I mean, that kid's my heart. That's me and him.
Okay.
And there's some more of him.
Yeah, sir.
I mean, and this is him. That's my favorite picture of him.
How old is he there? Let's say, when was that picture taken? Because he's only 10 months.
I don't know. Boy, he was what, maybe 3 months old.
Yeah, so about 7 months ago.
It was hot, so
Yeah.
she put him in there. That's him. That's me and him on my and then that's me and him on my Harley, and that's me and him. That's his. That's over at Paula's house.
And who's Paula?
That's my wife's aunt.
Oh, okay.
That's him.
Where's that at?
That's over at I don't remember. I think that was over I don't remember where that. I think it was over off of Pine Mount.
Okay.
I don't remember.
So y'all stay pretty much over in Lake City. Huh?
Yeah, that's him when he was born.
Okay. And where's he born? Shands?
Yep.
You at?
I have. There's just picture after picture after picture of him. That's when she was pregnant with him,
Okay.
and
And the pregnancy was normal? Delivery was normal?
No, she had a C-section.
Okay, but delivery
Now,
was normal?
there was one concern with his head. They didn't think it was big enough or something over here. So I changed doctors from here to Gainesville,
Okay.
and they done a whole thing on him before he was born.
Yeah.
And they said there ain't nothing wrong with him. They measured his head and
Okay.
all that stuff. And he's been to the doctor regularly.
Okay, well, as long as he's been, you know.
I've got his certificate out there where he was last at the doctor, and it was last month. I believe it was on, I can't remember, man. I think it was around mid-month or something like
You took
that.
him to the doctor?
Yes, sir. In
Where does he go to
Gainesville,
the doctor at?
off 39th.
Is it pediatric or is it a hospital?
It's affiliated, I guess, with Shands. It's off 39th on the left. It's just a bunch of,
Medical building?
medical buildings. I'm not sure who they're affiliated.
But that's where his
But the reason I changed is because I thought that these doctors over here in Lake City weren't competent enough to take care of him. And when
Okay.
she said that about his head, I said, he's going over there. So we carried him over there.
Well, now, were you taking him to Gainesville? That's his pediatrician now.
That's his doctor. Over
Yeah,
there.
pediatrician for a baby. Do you see the usual same ones, or do you see
I
like
see
most
the
doctors?
same one every time.
Oh, okay,
That woman.
good.
Same woman. And you're welcome to call
Uh-huh.
her and ask her. And I believe he's got another appointment. I believe I've got a thing. I think it's on the 4th of April.
Yes, sir.
Or I can't remember. No, it ain't. It's before then. I think it's before his birthday. I can't remember. It's wrote down.
The father details the child's medical history, including regular pediatric appointments and initial concerns over head size. He changed doctors to ensure proper care. He emphasizes the child is healthy, with no prior sicknesses or injuries. He even notes upcoming appointments.
And I've got to take 2 pills for high blood pressure. I'm trying not to have a damn heart attack. But I'm getting.
Just see, grab you a drink out of the machine.
I'm good, man. I just
Free.
I
Cost
want to find out
Where's that back?
if someone has grabbed him by the damn shoulder.
All right, so you're saying the baby goes regular, which I believe you to the
Yes.
doctor. I
Yes,
believe
sir.
you. But this Heather lady, you know, to let baby. How do you know Heather and her husband, Bluebeard, whatever they call him?
This is how I know it. There was a guy, I buy and sell stuff, motorcycles, whatever I can get my hands on.
Uh-huh.
I told him, I don't know if I told you, I'm on disability.
Yeah.
And I can't live off what they give me. So I do little odd jobs that I can do. I can't, do much, but I do. Well, there was a guy had a truck, and the light was putting the motor back in it, and I knew the guy. So that's how I originally got acquainted with them. And every time that I would see them uptown, me and Selena, it's like, oh, where's Levi? And Heather, she was like all over him, kissing him and all this other stuff. And he liked her. I mean, usually kids, if they don't like somebody, they'll have
Reservations. Now, did you notice any of that? Any time that, like, he wants to grab a hold of you or whoever?
No, now, of course, when I get there, he sees me and he's...
Yeah. But no, like, kind of shine off or anything?
If I did, he wouldn't be there. Can I go see him?
I don't know what they're treating him right now or not. You can go see if they're treating him or not. Let's just see, let the doctors do the thing. We're not trying to persecute you to death or nothing. We're just trying to figure out.
I'm telling you the truth. See,
I believe you.
The thing about this is like this here. When you tell the damn truth, you don't have to tell nothing else. The truth's the truth.
This is the truth.
The father expresses deep frustration and worry, admitting the stress of the investigation affects his health. He insists he has never harmed the child and only wants to ensure the baby's safety.
Hey, they're saying that Levi's collarbone broke. Somebody grabbed him and broke his damn collarbone. The doctor said. That's what they're saying. I don't know, Heather. I need to get off there because I got the.
Hello?
Well, I got the police up here.
Hey.
Well, I got the police in here, and they're questioning me, so let me go.
He's still like, we got a broke
and take
collar.
care of this.
He explains how he met Heather and her husband and why he trusted them to babysit. He reassures investigators that his son has always reacted positively to Heather, showing no fear or discomfort.
What's she saying?
Oh, now she said she got to go to an interview. She ain't coming down here.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Well, of course, and as you well know, we're looking out for the child's best interest.
I understand that.
That's all. We're not trying to say you did something or you allowed it to happen. That's why we ask questions. So, for him getting 2 bottles, that doctor said he gobbled down some food.
I know. I was in there.
So,
There's no reason for that, sir,
There you go.
because he's on the WIC
go,
program,
go.
and he's got plenty of food. Where's he at?
I got you. Same word.
Father recounts Heather changing her story about where the child was found unresponsive. He highlights confusion about claims of seizures and multiple bottles fed, reinforcing that he was never informed of medical emergencies prior.
She had that thing.
Hello? Usually they'll come to the door.
If I'd been told don't open doors,
Thought y'all were knocking on my grandma's bathroom. I didn't know what door was being knocked on.
Ma'am, do you got the thing to get in here with? Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
How's it going, Bob? kept saying, oh, I can't get down there. I gotta go to an interview. So they're both lying. Where's Noah?
Hey, we're back.
Get this middle one done.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
You ain't retired yet? Like,
What did you do to it?
And my daughter's in here getting stitches. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, ma'am. I understand.
you ain't ready to retire yet?
Not yet, Henry.
Oh, come on, man.
Not yet. Do you see what it was? Yeah, she's attacked. She's what's this?
This is the babysitter.
What's she say? What's she say?
So, well, I called both those people. They both answered.
Oh, God.
I forgot about that.
He's injured at no fault of his own.
So, I was able to get all their information and stuff.
Heather.
No.
He presents pictures showing consistent care and bonding moments between him and his child, as well as time spent with relatives and babysitters, emphasizing the child's normal development and affection.
So, Shannon was Christmas, and then Paula was a couple days before Christmas.
Well, that girl called him, and she said, oh, I can't go around there. I got to go to an interview. Heather, too.
That she can't come here.
Yeah, or
And you
just-
saw that on speaker?
Yeah, yeah. He was like, oh. So she says, and he goes, okay, well, if you can't come. So what'd she say? He said she can't come. We'll do an interview. And it's 4:30.
Well, she's claiming that she's in the medical field, and she's claiming that every time the baby comes home, it has bruises and marks. And I said, well, why have you not done this? Well, I'm getting that child. I said, I asked you, if you're in the medical field,
Why
he
haven't
comes
you
back with
reported it?
bruises every time. Why have you not called 911?
Come here, I need to give you some information. So we got on the same page. All right. All right.
Well,
Are you ready to write this? Yeah, I have to spell this to you.
who is this?
This is DCF operator. All right, here, let me spell it. A-L-A-D-A.
Oh, what?
L-A.
L-A-D-A.
D-A. Y.
Y.
S.
S.
H-I-A. Ladisha.
And what's her last name?
No, that's what I use. Operator 590.
590.
DCF. They will be sending.
Somebody to UF or here?
Yeah, UF.
Are they definitely going to UF?
Yeah. Yes, because that's where they're supposed to be going. Yeah. They said this isn't reportable, and they're sending it.
Let me call Heather to see. They may have to drive over there.
Where?
Drive over where? To our interview at the medical field?
She ain't going to no damn interview. She's at her house right now getting.
Oh, yeah, yeah. If you want to go down there and start interviewing, see it.
When I'm at the house, typing this report, I'm claiming all the time.
Yeah.
It's gonna take.
Let me call Rekka and see if it. All right.
It's gonna take me like 2 hours to write this report,
Dude,
Sarge.
it's okay. You can
Not
leave
like I
at
can
10
do
o'clock on the 25th of February.
Not like I
instead
can
of
do
midnight.
anything with comp.
You
Or-
can.
I mean,
Look, on the
well, notice I'm
25th
leaving.
of February.
You can take off.
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock says, well,
Am I able to do this in the morning, or do you think I need to finish it tonight?
I'd finish it tonight. Because it needs to be emailed, just so we can cover on just an information report.
Hey.
A what?
Because really, I mean, you don't know who you can't charge. Who do you know?
Well,
to do it?
I'm gonna put them probably all people and still put
Okay,
the charge
if you
in
want-
there
if
and
you
let
want to charge,
investigation
if you
pick
want-
it up, obviously.
Yeah.
Because really, who can you? Yes, do battery. But
I'm starting to think it's her. But because you know how he says he always wears diapers and stuff. Shannon said that every time he drops him off, he comes with diapers and wipes and shit to give the baby.
I just don't like when you ask him a question. He goes on.
yeah,
I can't do it. I promise. I'm not all.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
But as a parent, first one.
Yeah,
You
no.
can, no, you can either charge it, but you're gonna have to send it to the state.
But then again,
Oh, no,
if
no,
I
no, no, I'm not talking about charging. Investigations
No.
pick it up. I'm gonna put the charge in there and stuff like that.
You know,
then again, if I'm a parent,
He notes that some babysitters are unreachable or unwilling to cooperate, complicating the investigation. He expresses frustration, but maintains honesty, offering all contact information he has. He wants the investigation thorough, but is clear. If he had suspected abuse, the child would not have been left there.
Mom, she violated her probation, and she got arrested and was put in jail. Okay, so I had him, and I'm on disability. I'm on Social Security disability, and I'm complete, and I can't live off what they give me, so I do little odd jobs during the week, and then I go to the flea market on the weekend and try to make ends meet. And
The father begins explaining his living situation. He says the child's mother was jailed after violating probation, leaving him struggling to manage child care while surviving on disability income and small side jobs.
so anyway, there was 3 people that was watching him. Was his, I guess my wife's aunt, I don't know what that'd be to him, and all of that.
You think I should stand there for that? You think I'm good?
He's on.
He explains that multiple people helped watch the child, including relatives and trusted acquaintances. This establishes how frequently custody shifted between caregivers.
The doctor said he's within range of everything. His weight, his height, his head size.
He's got urine trick caffeine. We've got the X-ray of him, full X-ray, and
She'll be here in a few minutes. We'll have to ask her.
You let me get right.
Okay.
Back at the hospital, officers hear concerns about the child's condition. The father repeatedly states the behavior is not normal and begins questioning what caused the sudden medical emergency.
I was working a while ago. That's when she called me and said that he got up from a nap or something. He was unresponsive. I said, well, call 911. Oh, okay, so she called it.
He explains that he was working when he received a call saying the child was unresponsive. His immediate response was to tell the babysitter to call 911 before he rushed to the hospital.
Why would he just all of a sudden start having seizures? Has that got anything to do with him teething or anything?
I don't know. That's usually.
Was there any way that we can get him moved to Shannon?
The father questions whether teething or illness could explain seizures, showing confusion about what investigators are now treating as a serious medical event.
Hey, when's the last time Levi ate? He just had a bottle? Has he had food or just?
I can try 20 last night.
I'm talking about today.
22.
So all he's had, how much bottle was he in? Alright.
Back up just a little bit.
And then I changed it probably about an hour and a half before all this stuff happened. And then I went down for a nap. And I had me on the couch, and I changed his clothes, and went down for a nap, and then I went in there and checked on him, like, his color was weird. And that's when I told him that he was limp.
When he put him down, he what now?
I said, whenever he was out here with me earlier, I changed him, put some clothes on him.
Right.
That's because he peed. And then I put him down for a nap, and he lay down like he normally does. He had his bottle, but he didn't drink all of it. He only drank.
Officers begin focusing on timeline details, feeding, naps, and the last normal interaction. The babysitter's account describes putting the child down for a nap before finding him unresponsive.
So you put him down for a nap, and then when you went there to check on him, he wasn't doing nothing?
Yeah, when I went in there to check on him, he was colder, like he got kind of like a hair. And when I went to go pick him up, his arm just like fell, and he went back to pick him up, and he was lifeless.
The explanation becomes unclear as she describes the child's arm movement, raising further questions about what actually happened during that period.
997.
Yeah, the schedule is, like when I get off work, I'll come over there. If I get off early, I'll come over and pick him up. And we'll go do something or whatever, but I haven't been able to do anything with him because he's been teething and you know, he's been irritable. And so last night I visited with him for like a couple hours, and we had a video chat with him.
The father outlines his visitation routine, saying he visited daily after work and had recently video called the child's mother in jail so she could see him.
She said he's had 2 bottles, but no food.
Her name's lady that does ID. He said they met with a babysitter named Heather. So he might have done more. And so his name's Levi Harris. 10 months, 8 days.
Yeah, he's got date of birth.
Shit we got right now.
Huh?
What are your statements? Written statements.
Officers confirmed the child's identity and age while noting the babysitter, Heather, is expected to arrive, signaling that investigators are beginning to compare statements.
I don't even hear what you're saying.
Good.
I want to.
I got his birth certificate.
The father becomes emotional, stating the child will not be returning to that home again, suggesting growing concern about what may have happened there.
Hey, sir, what's your name?
Wendell Harris.
Wendell, can you come here a second?
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Okay, here's what's going on. His mama, she violated her probation, so she got put in jail.
Right.
So I've had about 3 people that's been helping me with him.
Who are they?
Shannon, Lance Bannister, the people that own Ken's Barbecue, Lake City, they help me. And his aunt, Paula Ash, she helps me. And Heather.
Heather who?
I don't know what her last name is.
You don't know her last name, but you let her watch your kid?
Well, I've known her for a long time. I can't remember what her last name is. Okay. Believe me, man.
Officers formally question him about caregivers. He lists several people, including Heather, admitting he does not even know her last name, despite trusting her with the child.
I'm listening.
I'm on disability, and I don't get very much money at all. So I do little side jobs here and there to try to make money. So I made arrangements for her to watch him.
Who's
and Heather?
Heather.
And I was going to take him to Shannon's, but he started running a fever. She said.
When was this?
I think she said about a week ago or something, he started running a fever.
Who said that?
Heather. And so I went and got Motrin because he was teething. And I had him to the doctor, and I had asked her because he was tearing at his ears, and the doctor told me that was from. I'm on disability, and I don't get very much money at all. So I do little side jobs here and there to try to make money. So I made arrangements for her to watch him.
Who's
and Heather?
Heather.
And I was going to take him to Shannon's, but he started running a fever. She said.
When was this?
I think she said about a week ago or something, he started running a fever.
Who said that?
Heather. And so I went and got Motrin because he was teething. And I had him to the doctor, and I had asked her because he was tearing at his ears, and the doctor told me that was from teething.
He explains financial struggles and why childcare help was necessary. He also mentions the child recently had a fever and was believed to be teething.
I can't remember, it's been about a week or so ago that he started teething, and he was a little bit irritable. But when I went over there last night, I just bought him some clothes, and he had a Disney jacket, like a fluffy one. I couldn't see that. I have never seen that on his neck before. God is my witness. I'm telling you, I've never seen that. If I did, he wouldn't be there.
What about the mark on his face?
That I did. The scratch. Yeah, I saw that.
What happened there?
She said that he was tearing at his ear. And I asked her, I said, why is that? Why didn't you trim his fingernails or whatever? And she said, she did trim his fingernails, but the doctor told me that they will pull at their ears.
So you're claiming that she said that he was grabbing at his ears and that's what caused the scratches?
That's what she told me. Because I did notice that last night. when I was there, and I asked her.
Investigators begin asking about visible injuries. The father insists he never noticed bruising before and says he would have immediately removed the child if he had known.
No way.
Who is she to you?
Just the people I met, you know, her husband drives that Superman truck, you know, the wrecker, that big Superman wrecker.
So she's a friend of a friend?
Well, I've known her. She's that's Goliath's wife. And I've known her. She's friends with my wife. And, you know, we just...
How long have you known her?
Well, probably about 4 years, or since they came here, 3 or 4 years, something like that. But she's always, Levi's always, you know, been good with her. There's no like, you know, I mean, they interact together good, you know. And when I asked her a while ago about that, what was on him, she said that he had fell into something or whatever, but I didn't know that was on there.
He describes learning about injuries only after arriving at the hospital. According to him, the babysitter claimed the bruises came from a fall in the bathtub.
Are you serious?
Bruising is. And that looks like to me like that. Because
What, did somebody grabbed him?
see the bruises all around his head? All around here like that? Yeah, that's like that. Well, and it's a little white, so it looks like the bone is a little white. So it may not be today.
Officers visually assess the bruising pattern and discuss how it appears older, suggesting the injury may not have happened that same day.
Come back in here so it's a little bit quieter. So, what I want to know is how long is Heather? I want a 2-week day-to-day description of what's gone on with.
Okay.
What's his name? Levi.
Levi.
I want to know
Here's
2
what-
weeks from now.
Okay.
Levi's life every day.
Here's what goes on. On the weekends, I go to the flea market. When I get done, I go over there in the afternoon and see him.
What's that? Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Well, Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday.
Monday through Friday, I got a friend of mine that I do odd jobs for, which, you know, around his house, just light work that I do for him. I go over there every day and I see him. And
Evening, morning, night?
in the evening. Unless it's like Sunday, then I'll go pick him up and we'll go to...
Investigators ask for a detailed daily timeline. The father describes visiting nearly every evening after work and spending weekends with the child whenever possible.
that or any of this was going on. Because I'm going to tell you what, if he was, he would not be there.
Right.
He would not be there. That's my son, and I love him to death. I'm 56 years old, and that's the only son that I have.
Right.
And he is my heart, and he's my 100%. That's, you know, but in the situation that I'm in, I can't watch him and try to do what I need to do. I'm disabled. I have to use catheters, go to the bathroom. I mean, I've got back problems. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And I needed help with him. That's why I went and there was 3 different people that was helping me.
He becomes emotional, explaining his health limitations and why he relied on others for childcare, repeatedly stating he would never knowingly leave his son in danger.
So you said, so you got Monday through Friday, you work, but you see him
Every day I go over there.
But you see him during you see him during the evening, yes. What about Saturday through Sunday?
Yes.
You see him just in the evenings?
When I get done, I go over there and I see him. If it ain't but for 30 minutes, I go over there. It ain't like that I have left.
When was the last time he stayed the night with you?
That would have been when I told you on that Sunday.
Last Sunday?
No, it wasn't last
Week
Sunday.
before that?
Yeah, I think that's when it was.
And you didn't notice anything?
Officers narrow the timeline further, asking when the child last stayed overnight with him. He says it had been about 2 weeks.
If they come back and they're able to tell when the injury occurred, they're not going to say that it was in that 2-week time frame. Like, they're not going to say it was before the 2 weeks.
I haven't seen that. I'm telling you.
When's the last time you have seen him
a
unclothed?
lie detector test right now.
Hang on a second. We don't have that availability. When is the last time you seen him without any clothes on to change his diaper, to give him a bath or anything?
That's probably about 2 weeks ago.
About
when
he
he
stayed
was,
at your house?
yeah, I went and picked him up, and when I got done at that Sunday, I didn't set up at the flea market. I just went out there and looked around.
He confirms that during the last diaper change and bath at his home, he saw no injuries. A key detail investigators focus on moving forward.
And eat and everything else. And I believe
I'm going to take you to another area of the hospital because I got to use this area.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
that's
Come on, man.
Just letting you know, you're not detained, you're free to leave at any time, right? We just want to figure out what's going on.
Officers move the father into another area of the hospital, reminding him he is not detained and is free to leave. The tone stays calm as investigators try to understand what happened.
Well, I want to figure out the piece of shit that did this.
No, you're good. Have yourself too, whatever you need. Yeah, man, whatever you want. Just stuff some snack on the break home.
Alright. You're aware of your Miranda rights. Just so you're in here with us, you're not charged with a crime.
no.
But, look, I'm reading it to you, so you make sure you understand. This is a technicality, alright? So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to an attorney, have him present while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford a hire lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you for any questioning. If you wish to decide at any time to exercise these rights and stop answering any questions. Do you understand these rights as I've explained?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Detectives formally read him his Miranda rights, clarifying he is not charged but ensuring everything said is documented. He agrees to continue speaking and pushes for Heather to be questioned.
She get her down here, and you guys ask her what in the hell is going on.
All right, this is Heather you're asking, right?
Yes.
All right, all right. What is Heather's name? Just Heather?
Sir,
All right.
I
Do you
cannot
pay
think of
her?
her last. No, she's married to Goliath. He's the one that drives that big old Superman
Has
truck.
a blonde beard?
Yeah, he
Okay.
drives that Superman
So
truck.
she just babysits for free?
Yeah, well, I
You take
give
her
her.
groceries?
I supply all his diapers. See, here's one thing that was going on. I don't know if this got anything to do with it, but her daughter's fixing to have a son. Her daughter, she's pregnant, gonna have a son. I had all kinds of clothes, diapers, wipes. Every time I go over there, she's like, well, Levi's out of wipes. I said, Heather.
The father explains Heather babysits for free while he provides diapers, wipes, and groceries. He mentions small concerns about supplies running out quickly, but says it never felt serious at the time.
Did you ever at any time see her like be angry or mad or come to you and say, look, he's a handful. I don't know, you know.
If she did, he wouldn't have been there.
Have you ever seen her discipline? Does she discipline?
No. Nobody discipline. You don't discipline a baby.
I'm just asking questions.
No.
Well, some people
He's a
do.
baby.
Well, sir, we're just trying to get to what happened. So we're not saying.
I want to know what happened too.
So, but never any time this has come a real pain, a burden. Everything was good.
She's got my phone number, and I told her I don't give a shit what time of day it is.
When asked about discipline or anger, he firmly says he has never seen Heather upset with the baby and insists he would have removed his son immediately if he suspected danger.
Yeah. She called me a while ago and says, well, she changed her story. Y'all heard it. She originally told me that he was in the crib, and when she went in there, he was unresponsive, which I brought his playpen bed thing. Okay. Then she said that he was in the living room. I believe y'all heard her. I think that's what she said. And that then she went and laid him down, and he was unresponsive. But as soon as she called me, I told her, I said, why in the hell didn't you call 911 first, then call me?
So you saying you went to the house first? Because you're saying like we taught her. We haven't spoken to her yet.
Okay. Well, I was on the phone. I didn't know if you heard me.
No.
I was working in the shop where I live at. I was working on four-wheeler. She called me and said, Levi's unresponsive. I said, well, call 911. And I dropped every damn thing, and I hauled ass over there. And when I got there,
He describes the emergency call. Heather first contacted him saying the child was unresponsive. He says he told her to call 911 immediately before rushing over himself.
ambulance. But if his damn collarbone's broke and it's what he says it is, I want her ass put in jail.
We're still
I don't mean her out.
He's not
He's not going back over there. No.
What we're trying to figure out is all aspects. What this, what this.
Believe
How long has he been with Heather over a period of time? Like how long has he been with Heather and nobody else?
probably for last time he was at Shannon's house. That's I would say Shannon just called me, so it's probably been he's been over there for at least a couple of weeks, I would think, because he was at Shannon's, and then I took him over there after I had thank Jesus. I carried him over there because Shannon, we did Christmas over there. We was going to cook on the grill, but Lance, he didn't get it ready or something. So they watched him, and then I brought him back, and then we went. I carried him over there, and I didn't think nothing about it because I'm over there every day. And when I had him last night, I had him in my arms, and I was holding him, and he went to sleep.
The father explains the recent caregiving timeline, saying the child had been staying with Heather for weeks, while relatives helped occasionally.
Yeah, fine. Let me tell you something, man. If I'd have known anything was going on with him, he would not be there.
All right, no, we understand that. So, but you never, how long has Heather watched that child? Total time?
Well, ever since Selena went to jail.
Okay, when was that?
I believe it was, she's been in there about maybe going on 2 months. But she ain't watched him all the time.
So, off and on for 2 months?
Yes.
Not totally like.
No, but then, and Shannon, Lance.
Emotion rises as he swears he would never leave his son somewhere unsafe, repeating that he saw no injuries during his last visit.
She went to jail,
Right.
so there's different people that watched her, but last night, you're saying you were holding your son, gave him a bottle, he laid there, looked at you, he wasn't crying, like moving his arm, or, because I with collarbone, I've had some.
God is.
Huh? Well, we'll say it.
As God is.
No, thank you.
As God is my witness on my life or whatever. I know you can get some people that lie, but I don't lie. I don't have a criminal record, nothing. Okay? On my life, if I'd have known.
You have to understand what.
I understand, and I'm behind y'all 100%. But I'm telling you, last night when I picked.
Investigators revisit the previous night's interaction. He confirms feeding the child, holding him until he fell asleep, and noticing nothing unusual.
He was asleep every time, here the last week or so, when I go over there, she'll say, well, he's sleeping because he's teething. And I'll go in there and physically put eyes on him and look at him, maybe rub him or something.
Yeah.
But I don't wake him up. Last night, he was sleeping or whatever, and I had him. I'm telling you, I picked him up, and I had him like this, and he went to sleep probably 45 minutes. He woke up, and then he was irritable, and she said that maybe he needed some Motrin, and that he was teething. So I said okay, and I took. And she got him, and she laid him back down in the bed.
He explains the baby had been teething and slightly irritable, something he believed explained recent fussiness before leaving that evening.
That lady's helping you out, the family, however y'all work it. And you haven't seen any abuse, you haven't suspected any abuse.
If I did, he wouldn't be there.
Okay.
I'm telling you God's honest truth. If if I even thought,
Yes, sir.
that's my son.
Now,
I mean,
what was your wife incarcerated for?
probation violation.
What was she on probation for originally?
Drugs. Be honest with you.
So, was the kid's fine? He was born with no sicknesses?
No, nothing. He was born right over in Shands, and he went to the doctor every time he's supposed to. I have to help
Yeah,
get
I
in
believe
the
you.
car.
Okay, so you followed
Yes,
up,
sir.
you
Yes,
your
sir.
father.
Absolutely.
And so, like you say, this is totally new to you. I mean, like you know, I'm not saying you would have ignored it. So you would have ignored all of this. I'm just saying.
Officers confirmed background details about the family situation, including the mother's incarceration and multiple caregivers helping during that period.
The paramedic said when I got
He won't answer. He's on the phone.
when I got in the ambulance that he was having a seizure. That's what he told me that, the paramedic.
Right. But wasn't having a seizure there.
I don't know about
You have any
how
questions?
she didn't say nothing about that. Only thing she told me was that I turned on the speakerphone for a reason, and these guys were standing there, I don't know if they were listening. She had originally told me on the phone that she laid him down for a nap, she went in there and it's unresponsive. Then, she said that she was in there, feeding him, and she gave him 2 bottles, I believe that's what she said, and which he just gulped down.
The father points out inconsistencies in Heather's story, saying she changed where the child was found and mentioned seizures only after the emergency unfolded.
Let me ask you a question, okay? When I asked you earlier about has she ever called you and said your baby needs to go to the hospital, you're saying she's never done that, right?
No, sir.
Okay, so she didn't call you 3 to 4 days ago.
Oh, she did today.
No. Did she call you 3 to 4 days ago claiming that your baby was having active seizures and that you needed to take him to the hospital? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, so if I pulled phone records from her phone, there would not be a phone call where she is making these claims saying that your baby's having seizures and a
Now, there
fever.
might be a phone call where she called me or I called her, but she ain't told me nothing about him having no seizure.
Okay, again, I'm telling you, if I pulled the record,
Hold
like the
on.
actual phone call, they
Hold on.
were
Yeah.
not going to say,
Hold
hey,
on.
your
Hold
baby's
on.
having 3 to
Hold
4
on.
days.
Hold on.
Well, we can't pull them right now, man.
Okay.
I'm just saying, because your story's kind of all over the place. Her story is, you bounce this baby.
Investigators challenge parts of the timeline, explaining that different accounts suggest injuries may have appeared over several days.
Did you see, man?
October 5th, what?
84.
84. My damn phone is loaded with nothing but pictures of me and him. Me and him, me and him, me and him.
I understand it, but see, sir,
And this is him over at her house.
and this is that the one, is that her?
No, that's her daughter. This is him over at her house.
Walking and everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. She texts me these pictures all the time.
Now,
That's him with Shannon. Shannon had, and that's when they took
who's that there?
the Grinch. That's
Oh.
Shannon's daughter.
Okay, yeah.
And then there he is with the Grinch. There he is, me and
No,
Selena
all
had him in
right,
the.
stop. All right. No. That's just hair.
Yeah, so,
I know.
you know that cocoa, he got
Yes, sir.
cocoa melon going on.
Yeah.
I don't know why his hair grows like that.
Yeah, no, that's a baby.
But
Okay.
that's me and him
Where at? Where's that at?
over at a friend of mine's house. My phone is full of pictures. I love that kid.
Sir,
That's
we're
him.
debating that.
That's him.
We're just trying to.
There's he's at the doctor
Where is that at?
in Gainesville. That was his, I believe that was his last doctor's appointment. He was at, right there's his doctor.
All right.
That's, Selena holding him. We put a net on his head.
Why'd they do that?
The father shows photos of his child on his phone, emphasizing bonding moments and regular care to reinforce that the baby had been healthy and loved.
That's when she was pregnant.
Okay.
He had C-section.
Okay.
Now, there was one concern with his head. They didn't think it was big enough or something over here. So I changed doctors from here to Gainesville, and they done a whole thing on him while he was born. And they said there ain't nothing wrong with it. They measured his head and all that stuff. And he's been to the doctor regularly.
49.
How long was he been there?
I've got his certificate out there. He was last at the doctor. He was last month. I believe it was on, I can't remember. I think it was around mid-month or something.
You took him to the doctor?
Yes, sir.
Where does he go to the doctor at?
Off 39.
Is it a pediatric or is it a hospital?
It's affiliated, I guess, with Shands. It's off 39th on the left. That's just a bunch of,
Medical building.
medical buildings. I'm not sure who they're
But that's where his.
But the reason I changed is because I thought that these doctors over here in Lake City weren't competent enough to take care of him. And when she said that about his head, I said, he's going over there. So we carried him over there.
Well, now, when you take him against, that's his pediatrician.
That's his doctor.
Yeah. Pediatrician for that. Do you see the usual same one?
He discusses medical history, explaining regular doctor visits and switching pediatricians earlier to ensure proper care, insisting the child had no prior health problems.
I'm very, very upset. Very upset. And I've got to take 2 pills for high blood pressure. I'm trying not to have a damn heart attack. But
take a seat, grab you a drink out of the machine.
I'm good, man. I want to find out if someone has grabbed him by the damn shoulder.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Broke his collarbone. Okay, if that's obviously that's what's happened. She needs to be the one that answers for that.
Somebody does, whoever did it.
This is her text. See, this is.
What's she saying? Are you scroll through it?
I don't care, man. You're welcome to scroll through all of it. I have nothing.
Where's today right here?
I even brought an air compressor to her husband yesterday so he could work on his car. She never said nothing about nothing.
What's today? What's today?
The interview ends with visible frustration and fear. He says he only wants answers and believes whoever hurt the child must be held responsible.
I just can't imagine somebody do that to him. That's her texting me just now.
This is her?
Yeah.
No, we're trying to figure it out. Just as much
See,
as you want us to.
he's, that's where we stay. He's got all kinds of stuff, man.
Right.
I mean, he's my son.
I understand.
I just can't believe, man, that some damn body do some shit like that.
The father struggles to process what doctors are telling him.
I believe it, but this Heather lady, to maybe, how do you know Heather and her husband, Bluebeard?
This is how I know him. There was a guy, I buy and sell stuff, motorcycles, whatever I can get my hands on. I told him, I I'm on a disability, and I can't live off of it again. So, I do little odd jobs that I can do. I can't, do much, but I do. Well, there was a guy had a truck, and the light was putting the motor back in it, and I knew the guy. So that's how I originally got, acquainted with him. And every time that I would see them uptown, me and Selena, he's like, oh, where's Levi? And Heather, she was like all over him, kissing him and all this other stuff. And he liked her. I mean, the kids, if they don't like somebody, they'll have
Reservation. Now, did you notice any of that? Any time that, like, I want to grab a hold of you or whoever?
No, now, of course, when I get there, he sees me and he's...
Yeah. But no, kind of shot off or anything?
Investigators ask how he met Heather and her husband. He explains their connection came through buying and selling vehicles and small jobs, which eventually led to trusting them with childcare.
If I did, he wouldn't be there. Can I go see him?
He says the child never showed fear around Heather, adding that if his son had reacted negatively, he would not have allowed him to stay there.
I don't know if they're treating him right now or not. You can go see if they're treating him or not. Let's just sit let the doctor do the thing. We're not trying to break you to the death or nothing. We're just trying to figure it out.
I'm telling you the truth.
I'm at the hospital right now in child abuse. Okay, I'll call you back. Yeah, he's here too. He's working it. He's on the phone with somebody. All right, let's see. Father's wanting to come see him. Is that fine? Whatever y'all want. Y'all want us to keep him away? We can keep him
That's up to
away.
y'all.
Yeah, it's up to y'all. We can't really.
Yeah, so y'all, I don't know if y'all have anything y'all want to get done.
Officers coordinate with hospital staff while the father asks if he can see his child. Investigators pause questioning to allow medical personnel to continue treatment.
I don't, get to see him but a couple hours a day, but yeah. She's told me that he fell or something. She thought that I don't know what the hell. But anyway, they're trying to. He's having seizures. He's had a couple, and they don't know if his brain and something happened to his brain, so they did a CT scan on him. I'm waiting right now to go to find out what they got to say and go to Gainesville. So I will be home. I don't know when I'm coming home. At the shop, I had to stop working and I turned everything off so the garage door was closed. And
Okay.
I don't know how long I'm gonna be there.
Okay, well, let me know if there's anything I can do.
Later, during a phone call, he explains doctors are running scans after seizures were reported. He repeats that he still does not understand what caused the injuries.
I can't think of nothing. I mean, he got bruises up under his legs and the back legs, and I don't know what this woman, but her ass is fixing to answer for what the hell's going on with his collarbone, because the doctor, the way the bruise is, the doctor says somebody grabbed him and then she fucking started shaking him or something. I don't know what the hell she's done. But you know, you met her before. Levi likes her. Yeah, Heather. And I don't understand. And she never showed no kind of.
The father repeats what doctors told him. That bruising suggested someone may have grabbed or shaken the child. His tone becomes increasingly emotional as he talks.
Bruise is consistent with someone grabbing him and shaking him, I guess, or grabbing him and squeezing him, whatever. He got a broken collarbone, and they did a CT scan of his brain, so I don't know. They want to see if he's got something. You know, somebody, if she's shooting or something, you know, he probably have something wrong with him. I'm hoping he don't, but he's had a couple seizures since he's been here. Well, I gave him some morphine. I'm laying here with him.
He shares medical updates, explaining the child has a broken collarbone and seizures, while doctors wait for scan results to determine possible brain trauma.
Told him he fell or something. Then she told me he fell in the bathtub, and then she said he fell on something in the bathroom. I don't know.
The father says Heather gave multiple explanations about how the child was injured, including falls in different locations, which adds confusion to the timeline.
Got gas on me from where I was working, and when she called me, and I told her, I said, look, why in the hell didn't you call? She called me, she told me she laid him down for a nap. She went back in there, he's unresponsive. I said, well, why in the hell didn't you call 911? Oh, I said, you should have called 911 first. I said, I'm on my way. So I shut everything down best I could, turned everything off, and I shut the garage door, went out the back, jumped in the truck, and I hauled ass over there. By the time I got there,
He recounts receiving the emergency call, saying Heather contacted him first instead of calling 911, something he immediately questioned before rushing to the scene.
he'd done a CAT scan of his head, and they wanted to see if he's got like trauma to the brain or something that could be causing a seizure or something. But I do know that I've seen on TV that shaking babies rattles their brain or something. I couldn't remember. I've seen.
Waiting for medical results, he mentions hearing about shaken baby injuries and fears that something similar may have happened.
And I checked it, make sure. And she's got baby soap, Well, he took his first steps the other day when I was over at the boys' meeting. But, you know, I can't figure out last night. And I held him, but, you know, he was on my left side, and it's his left arm, that shoulder thing that's messed up. But he went to sleep in my arms, and I gave him a bottle and stuff, and he sat there and looked at me for a while, and
He reflects on recent visits, remembering feeding and holding the child the night before, believing the irritation was only teething at the time.
you know, I just, man, I feel so bad about this. I feel like, you know, I failed as a parent, you know, but I mean, I didn't fucking know, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how can I do something if I don't know?
The segment ends with the father blaming himself for not noticing earlier signs, saying he feels like he failed, but insists he never knew anything was wrong.
I'm going over there, well, I'm not going today, but I'm going to get his shit, and I ain't have nothing else to do with their ass. Wow, what the hell they gonna do? Well, that's true too.
Yeah, whenever you do that, call us. Call us whenever you do that.
Yeah. Well, see, you know, yesterday their truck tore up, and I took my damn air compressor out of my shop, the one I use, and I took it over to let him use it. You know, I wouldn't do that shit for nobody else.
Still inside the hospital, the father vents frustration. He says material things don't matter anymore. Only his child's recovery matters. His tone shows growing anger toward the people who have been watching the baby.
And the air compressor and all that shit, I don't care, because that stuff's replaceable. He's not replaceable. And if they don't want to give me the stuff back, say it's theirs, then they can just stick it up their ass or whatever. I don't care. But it's, you know, I ain't concerned about that. I just want.
He tells officers that everything he owns is replaceable, but his son is not, reinforcing how serious the situation has become for him emotionally.
All right, so y'all going to transport him to Shands.
Well, I'm calling them now. I gotta get acceptance first.
Okay.
If they accept the baby, then we'll transfer him. If not, we gotta try Jacksonville.
I don't want to go to Jacksonville. I want to go to Shands.
Well,
And they'll accept him.
I mean, it depends on availability. If they have space, yeah, I'm calling them right now.
Okay.
If they have space here, if they have space, you gotta go to Jacksonville.
Medical staff discuss transferring the child to a specialized hospital, depending on availability, showing the case is escalating beyond a routine emergency visit.
So Megan, she smoked marijuana?
Who?
Megan.
Megan.
Or what's her name?
Heather. I've never seen them smoking it.
Do you smell it? You know what marijuana
Sometimes
smells like?
that boyfriend that her daughter's got, I think he does.
Do you ever smell it in the house?
No.
Do you ever smell marijuana smell in the house?
No.
You have never seen them smoke marijuana? You've never seen marijuana in plain view going
If
into
I
their
did,
house?
he wouldn't be there.
Well, he got marijuana in his system somehow.
Well, he didn't get it from me.
I understand
And
that.
I'll piss test right
That's
now.
why I'm asking you. Have you
I have
ever
never seen them
it, smell
smoking
it?
pot. I've never, in the house, I have never smelled pot. I do know that the boyfriend of her daughter, that one time out front, there's like a gate, and I smelled it over there by his car. Now, as far as in there, if I know if that house smelled like pot, he'd never been in there. Believe that.
Investigators shift focus, asking about possible marijuana exposure. The father strongly denies ever seeing drugs used around the child.
I don't know, man. But I can tell you one thing, he will not be over there no more. If I have to quit what I'm doing and just live off my check and take care of him solely by myself, then that's what the hell I'm gonna do.
Well, that's probably what you need to do.
Well,
He becomes more determined, saying he will personally take care of the child moving forward if necessary.
the last week, 3 or 4 days, something like that over there. It's, you know, hindsight's 20/20. I mean, some things that might have been happening then was kind of popping in my head now, saying, you know, maybe a flag or something.
Right.
But he loves Heather.
Like what? What are these flags?
it was like she was the last, especially for like the last 4 days when I went over there. One day when I went over there, she said, well, he's asleep. I said, well, I want to see him. So I went in there in the crib and he was asleep. And it was for like the last night was the only night that I really, she wasn't, whatever. But like 3 or 4 days before that, she was kind of.
Looking back, he describes small warning signs, moments when the babysitter avoided letting him see the child, details that now stand out to him.
Heather, the girl that watched him, she called me and told me he was unresponsive and I was working. I throwed everything down, went over there to get him and see what the hell's going on. I told her to call 911. When we got him over to the hospital, he has a bruise on his collarbone and the doctor says somebody has grabbed him and shook him and it broke his damn collarbone. Yep. And then he's having seizures. He's had a couple of seizures, so they did a scan of his brain, and he doesn't have any. They don't think there's nothing wrong with his brain.
During a phone call, he explains doctors believe someone grabbed and shook the child, causing serious injuries and seizures.
That's when she called me, and she says Levi was unresponsive. I said, well, why in the hell did you call 911? I said, I'm on my way, so I shut everything down and went over there, and this is what's happened. That's where I'm at right now, is in the hospital in Live Oak.
I mean, they told me that he was having seizures.
He has. He's got bruises on him. He's got bruises on him. He sure does. But I had no idea that was on him. None whatsoever.
He recounts rushing to the house after receiving the call that the baby was unresponsive, describing how quickly the situation turned into a medical emergency.
I check on him. I make sure he's best I knew. She's good with him, and he's never showed no signs that he didn't like her or nothing else. I had no damn idea. None. It's just about the last, I told them for about the last 3 or 4 days, she's been a little bit standish off with him, and I didn't really think nothing about it because I was just thinking that he was, that he was teething or whatever. But anyway.
Oh my God.
Well.
Weird.
He tells officers he had noticed the babysitter acting distant in recent days, but believed the child was simply teething at the time. After the incident, authorities began a full investigation into what happened to the child. The father stayed closely involved, ensuring the child received medical care and monitoring his recovery. The baby was examined at the hospital, treated for injuries, and preparations were made to transfer him to another facility for further care. Social services got involved to identify who was responsible for the injuries, questioning everyone who had contact with the child, including Heather, her daughter, and her boyfriend. The father cooperated fully, providing information and clarifying what he knew about the child's care and whereabouts.